Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope you're well. My name is Harry and I'm a native English speaker. I'm also a British English teacher and I've taught thousands of students from all around the world. My students have gone on to secure higher paying jobs, pass important exams, being able to communicate with native English speakers and speak with confidence. So today I'm going to talk to you about a very common question. One of my subscribers recently asked a very important question, and it's a question my students have also asked. So what is the difference between should have, could have, and would have? Well, today you're going to find out. Could have, should have, would have. Now this can be a bit tricky to understand because they all have the basic structure, but the meaning behind each one is different. The basic structure is you have your modal verb plus have plus the past participle. Now there are many different types of modal verbs. You have could, should, would, might, must, may, can, shall, will. So you can see that there are so many here. Now, why do we use modal verbs? Well, we use them to express a possibility, so something that could happen. If we want to give some advice, if something is a necessity, so this means if something is very important, or if something is hypothetical. Hypothetical means something that is imaginary. So sometimes we can often combine these together, and I will show you how. It's very important to learn the past participle of the verb. The past participle is the third form of the verb. So for example, go, went, gone. We have some more examples. Do, did, done. See, saw, seen. Eat, ate, eaten. Take, took, taken. So with this structure, you always have the past participle after have. Let's look at could have. So with could have, you had the ability or chance to do something, but it didn't happen. So it was possible, but it didn't happen. For example, I could have gone to the party, but I was tired. So I had the option to go, but I chose not to. They could have won the match if they played better. So here it was a possibility, but it didn't happen. She could have been a great artist. So she had the potential, but maybe she didn't work hard enough, or maybe she chose a different career. So the main idea behind could have is that you had the chance. There was a possibility to do something like the party. I could have gone to the party, but I was tired. It's a situation that it wasn't impossible. It was doable. You could have done the activity, so it was possible. A very important thing to consider is the pronunciation. So we have the contraction. Could have becomes could have. I could have gone to the meeting. Instead of I could have gone to the meeting, I could have gone to the meeting. And in fast speech, this is very common. So it's really nice to train your ears to understand and hear the difference between could have and could have. Should have. So this is when you're saying that something was the right thing to do or expected, but it didn't happen. For example, I should have studied more. So this is a regret. I know I should have studied more, but I didn't, so I regret it. When you regret something, it's when you feel sad, you had an opportunity to do something, but you didn't. You should have told me about the change. So here you're upset. Maybe you had a meeting and someone changed the time of the meeting. So you show up to the meeting and here you're very upset. So that person should have done the right thing and informed you about the time change of the meeting. We should have left earlier, now we're late. So here, this is a mistake. So it's something that didn't happen. We should have left earlier. If we had left earlier, we would have been on time. So here, should have is being used to express how something was important, it was the right thing to do, but it didn't happen. So here you can see how it expresses frustration or guilt, and it's when you're wishing that you had done something differently. And also notice, you can also contract this. I should have left earlier for work, but I didn't. So should have becomes should have in fast speech. Would have. So this is an interesting one. This is connected to a hypothetical situation, so an imaginary situation. So something didn't happen, but it would have if the situation was different. For example, I would have helped you, but I didn't know you needed anything. So in this case, I didn't help, but if I had known, I would have helped. But it was impossible because I didn't know. She would have come to work, but she was sick. So here, she didn't come to work because of an illness. So here, she didn't have a choice. She would come if there was a possibility, but she was too sick. So she didn't have that possibility. We would have won the match if we had more time. So here, the football match, the football team, they lost, but if they had more time, they could have won. And it's an imaginary situation because the time finished. It's impossible to give them more time. Also notice the contraction. So would have becomes would have. We would have won the match. I would have got an A in my exam. So here, again, you're expressing something which is hypothetical, imaginary, but it didn't happen. Now let's compare all three with an example. So you could say, I could have passed the exam, I should have passed the exam, I would have passed the exam. So what are the differences here? Well, I could have passed the exam. It was possible. I had the ability, but maybe I didn't try hard enough. Maybe I didn't study hard enough. So I didn't fulfill my potential, but I could have passed the exam if I had studied harder. I should have passed the exam. So here I was expected to pass, but maybe I made mistakes or I didn't prepare properly for it, and now I regret it. So here we can see the difference between could have and should have. So could have, you had the possibility if you had studied harder. Should have, it's more of an expectation. So you were expected to pass. You knew you could pass, but here you may have made some mistakes in the exam. Would have. I would have passed the exam if I had studied. So here I didn't pass, but if I had studied, I think I definitely would have passed. So would have, it was an impossibility because I didn't study. I would have passed. So here it's an imaginary situation, and you can see the difference between could have and should have. So would have is a nice way to explain how a situation would have been different if I had done this, but it's something that didn't happen. Now, some common mistakes are, for example, saying I could have go. Now here you have to use the past participle. So instead of I could have go, this becomes I could have gone. She should have eats. Here we have to think about the past participle. So what is the past participle of eat? It is eaten. So she should have eaten. They would have win. Why is this incorrect? Well, if we think about the past participle, we have win, won, won. So they would have won. So what I want you to do is in the comments below, write a few past participle forms of the verb. So watch the video back, listen for a few examples, and try to find some of your own and write them in the comments below. Now it's time for the quiz. Number 1, I gone to the gym, but I was too tired. The answer is I could have gone to the gym, but I was too tired. Number 2, you been more careful with that glass. The answer is you should have been more careful with that glass. Number 3, they invited me, but they forgot. The answer is would have. So here we have a hypothetical past action, and the important word here is forgot. So they would have invited me, but they forgot. And it's depending on the context. And this is very important when you are using should have, could have, or would have, is to really think about the emotions and feelings behind what is being said. So it's really important to understand English in context. Number 4, she passed if she had revised. The answer is she would have passed if she had revised. So it's a hypothetical situation. The test is over. She didn't do any revision. She didn't study. So she's imagining a situation that would have happened. We taken the earlier train. The answer is we should have taken the earlier train. So remember, should can also be used for regret. So they feel sad. They should have taken the earlier train because now they're late. So when you're using should have, you're talking about regret. You're disappointed by something that happened. In the comments below, tell me one thing you should have done yesterday, one thing you could have done last weekend, and something you would have done if things were different. Well done. You did a fantastic job today. Thank you so much for watching. And also remember, on this channel, memberships are now live. Please, if you want to support this channel, consider becoming a member. I really appreciate it. Also remember, I've created a brilliant free ebook for you. You will find the link to download it in my description below. To keep improving your English, watch this video next. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next lesson. Have a lovely day, and bye-bye.